when you come into a CFC, we're gonna go back to the CFCs.
Back to the CFCs, okay.
Because there's a lot going on here.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about after a doctor or psychologist or a pediatrician refers them to you. What's that initial evaluation process like, or what's that first step like?
Okay, that's a very good question, actually. Once we receive a referral, by federal law, we have 2 days to make contact with the family. So anyone who makes a referral to the Child and Family Connections office, we can tell them, and we can tell the family referred, that one of our service coordinators will make a phone call to the family to let them know that their child has been referred and the reason for the referral. That starts our clock, and within 45 calendar days, we have to convene a team, an interdisciplinary team, based upon what the concerns are regarding the child, to determine eligibility for services. So we do all services within a natural environment, and typically that's within the home. So the service, step 1, we would take the referral. Step 2, we would go into the family's home and interview the family to see what their concerns are, what the child is doing, a little bit about the birth history. And based upon that, we would make a determination with the family of what type of developmental evaluation services that child would need in order to determine eligibility. If the family was referred and concerned about speech, then we would make sure a speech pathologist was part of the evaluating team. It always has to be a team of 2 people to determine eligibility. It can't be only one person. So once we have gone in and interviewed the family, we come back to the office and we've helped find a family, or find the family, the developmental therapist and the therapist that will do the evaluations. They are done with the family, the child, typically again in the home. After that, the determination is made whether the child meets the eligibility requirements. If they're eligible for services, the family service plan is written, and then in that we outline what type of therapy the child will receive, how often the child will receive the services, and where the services will be. And
so I find that really interesting, because that seems to be the new thing in healthcare, having all these interdisciplinary or multidisciplinary teams looking at a case and really mapping out what needs to happen. And so it seems like that's what's happening here at that case. So.
But then we might be the leader, because we've been doing that since we started early intervention. It's always been seen as a child can't be seen in isolation. So it has always the determination that the child always has to be evaluated by an interdisciplinary team.
So then they get together, they look at the notes from the interview or the first visit. They probably look at doctor's notes maybe.
Absolutely, and that's a part that I can't neglect is that if the child is eligible and services are provided, therapeutic services, they have to be done under a doctor's prescription. So it can't be a therapist going in without a doctor's prescription. So the doctor is a primary piece of the team from the beginning of the services throughout. And once we write the family service plan, it has to be reviewed every 6 months. It has to be rewritten on at least an annual basis. And the services are determined based upon what the needed or the desired outcomes are for the child and family.